New free trade deals are one of the main dividends for Brexiters from leaving the European Union. The Trade Secretary, a long-standing supporter of leaving the EU and somebody who wanted the freedom to do that as quickly as possible. But he telling me that the process of extracting ourselves from the EU means that those free trade deals in places such as here in China, the second biggest economy in the world, they may take a little longer than we think. But he also disputed those statistics, those leaked Brexit assessment papers, saying that the worth of those deals would be only fractional for the economy. Here is some of my very recent chat with the Trade Secretary here in Beijing.
Liam Fox, thanks for joining us. Where's your free trade deal? Shouldn't you be slashing tariffs of Chinese exports of food, footwear and clothing? Isn't that the promise of Brexit?
Well, we haven't got to Brexit yet, of course, and that may be some time away if we've got an implementation period. But what we're doing is to ensure that when we have the economic freedoms, we can take advantage of them. We've set up a trade and investment review with China to look at the options we have in terms of our trading relationship and agreements once we have left the European Union.
Nervous Tory colleagues, they think they want an immediate dividend. They want cheaper imports of Chinese footwear and clothes. Can you promise that in any reasonable timescale?
As everybody knows, we can't negotiate, never mind sign, any agreements while we're still in the European Union, and that's likely to be extended if we were to have an implementation period, which is what business seems to want us to give them in terms of stability. But we're already seeing a huge willingness by China to want to buy British goods. Our exports to China are up 25% in the last year. We're seeing more Chinese investment coming into the UK and more investment from Britain coming into China to create that trade and investment relationship.
All the things that you've announced right now, is it fair to say you could do all of this whilst we still remained in a customs union, which is one of the live issues for debate within Cabinet? Could you live with us staying in a customs union beyond the implementation period?
Well, self-evidently, we can do it while we're in a customs union because we are doing it now while we're still in the European Union.
Free trade agreement with China?
We are looking to see where we can get improvements in that. Whether that's done by a gold standard free trade agreement, whether that's done by a series of measures on market access, on mutual recognition, on equivalence agreements, the whole range of the tools in the box, if you like, we're looking to see that. That's why this is my second visit to China this month.
Do you accept these impact assessments that say the sorts of trade deals that you can do will only offer fractional benefits to GDP growth versus 5, 6, 7, 8% that might be lost from a bad deal with Europe?
Well, of course, in any assessment, you can only get out of it the assumptions that you put in. And I'm putting in that we are able to improve our export performance in the way we've seen in the past year. Global trade rose by about 3.7% last year. British exports of goods rose by 16%. British exports of services rose by 11%.
Whilst in the EU, that's the point.
Already bucking the trend, which shows that there's enormous capacity for us out there. If we can both improve our trade performance, which is what my department is set up to do, and we can improve our market access by new trade agreements after we leave the European Union, that's a double plus for Britain.
That was the Trade Secretary talking to me here on the Prime Minister's trade mission to China a few moments ago. And the backdrop to this, of course, is the Prime Minister facing criticism from some in her own ranks back home 5,000 miles away. And the reason why this plays in to that argument is that it was the nervousness of Brexiter MPs such as Jacob Rees-Mogg that sparked this current round of concern over where the Prime Minister's leadership was going. And it's he that wants free trade arrangements, lack of tariffs, cheaper food and imports of clothes from the likes of China as an immediate dividend from Brexit as soon as next year. What Liam Fox, who's also a long-standing Brexiter, is saying is that we're going to have to wait for that. What will Mr Rees-Mogg say to things like that? We'll have to see. In general, though, Liam Fox backing up his boss, saying that if only those MPs that have been expressing such public concern, if only they could see her in action here with the leadership of the world's second biggest economy. Prime Minister meeting President Xi in a few hours' time.